Natural hair care products and protective hairstyles such as braid, weaves, and wigs has made the business of black hair a multi-billion-dollar industry. According to market research.biz, the global black hair market should reach around $8.5 billion by this year alone and expected to grow to over $15 billion by 2033. With the market is steadily growing, global beauty giants like L'Oreal and Unilever are now competing with African women who are now dominating in the booming black hair industry by using digital marketing and social media. To keep up with the demand for hair oil, shampoo and conditioners, gel and styling tools specifically to address the special needs of coarse hair texture. Hello and welcome to Our Voices. I'm Ginny Niwa and I'm joined by my wonderful co-hosts Oriane Intagishika and Simenishi Ekoye. On this week's episode of Our Voices, we will take a closer look at black hair industry and introduce you to African women in the diaspora who are making a name for themselves in this lucrative business. Hi, ladies.
Hello. Hi. I love talking about hair. So.
Yeah. Well, it seems like more women now are giving up on using hair relaxer, right? And therefore, they're spending more money on hair products and services. Is that the case for you as well? And how much money do you spend on your hair? Let's start with you, Lily.
I mean, personally, I think I have this soft, curly hair, not much volume, so I don't really use relaxer. If I do, I'll definitely go bald. But I definitely use hair products like shampoo, conditioner, treatments, hair oils, and you know, they're all costly. I also sometimes go to hairstylists to make it straight like this, or to maybe cut it short. So I think I do spend a lot of money, like many other women do, to maintain their hair and to maintain their beauty. Yeah.
Well, I'm your 4C hair, the opposite, the total opposite. 4C means very curly. And yeah, I mean, for me, I have been on a long journey. For those who know me for a very long time, I've been on a journey for natural hair, locks, and just pretty much natural hair. I know, when I cut them, people cried, but I'll lock them again. But locks and natural hair is something that many people may think are easy to maintain, but you find yourself also in a hair salon very often because you have to keep it clean and you have to keep it beautiful as well. Just because it's natural, that doesn't mean it has to be like nappy or dry.
Yeah.
But it's
and
a place
it's difficult to do it at home.
Right,
so
and you find yourself in hair salons a lot. If not, you use a lot of product because natural hair requires moisture. You have to constantly be moisturizing, and that can be pretty costly. And so that's, you know, and that journey can cost many people to leave the natural hair journey to the wig and extension journey because it's just, you know, very easy. So that's where I am right now. I'm doing a little bit of extension just to get away from like constantly moisturizing my hair.
Well, same thing for me, 4C, you know, and now I feel like I'm on a wig and just like you say, weave journey. Like before I used to spend a lot of money thinking, okay, so those wigs are 200, sometimes 2,000. I'm not going to spend that much money.
Painful.
And I was doing a lot of, you know, buying my hair, but then you add it up and I'm like, no, I'm going to get my wigs, a nice collection, and that's it. It's a long-term investment. So, yeah.
And I think every woman should be able to just explore any hairstyles. You know, shouldn't be confined to one, you know, I'm this natural hair girl and that's it. You know, if you feel like changing.
Whatever makes you feel yourself, whatever makes you feel confident and presentable, don't go with it.
You know, the reason why I said that is because at one point, you know, people felt like if you're just this, then you feel natural hair, you should just go with natural. No, just explore a little bit with everything. You know?
Well, let's go now to a small suburban community in Nigeria's capital where hair ventilation service is seeing a rise in demand. Not only are youngsters there making enough money to support their household incomes, but they are already building businesses. Gibson Emeka has this story from Abuja, Nigeria, narrated by Salem Solomon.
15-year-old high school student Helen Sampson says she can combine her studies with hair ventilating. She's one of the children in the Kuchiguro community in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, cashing in on hair ventilation. It's a netting technique that takes individual strands of human or artificial hair and connects them into a wig cap placed on the head.
If I go to school, we're coming back by 2. And if I come, I will just rest before I start ventilating. I will continue to ventilate because it's helping me and my family.
Sampson began the craft as an after-school hobby with just her startup kit, a dummy head, extensions, wig caps, and crochet pins. 1 year in, Sampson says she's turned her hair ventilating craft into a profitable business and now trains and pays other children to work for her.
If I saw anybody ventilating, I will say like, please, can I try and ventilate? And they will tell me yes, and they will give me. That's how I learned how to ventilate. Some children in my compound, I used to teach them how to ventilate. If they continue to ventilate for me, I can pay them. And I will be paying them 2,500 naira.
That's about $3.25. Like Sampson, more children in Nigeria between the ages of 9 to 17 are leveraging their creativity in hair ventilation to support their families. Binta Yahuza, a stay-at-home parent, says her household's economic life has improved since 4 of her 9 children joined the hair ventilation craft.
Because we buy many things in the house, because they pay them for their school fees. Even we building house with this money, even to buy better clothes. We are buying plenty food where we are eating. So many things.
Ruben Madaki, a hair ventilation coach, says the renewed demand for braided wigs, which can cost between $100 and $400, makes the hair ventilating business lucrative.
Some people quit their job just to do this ventilates. We have a lot of people buying it from here, and some people even wave it to Lagos. People that are buying it in Kuchingoro here. They wave it to Lagos, they make a little profit from it.
Although youth entrepreneurship is common in Asia and America, it's still new in Africa. There have always been challenges of infrastructure and culture where children either lacked access to the infrastructure or support for business. James Oluromiti, an Abuja-based entrepreneurship trainer, encourages youth entrepreneurship in low-income countries.
As long as nobody is exploiting them from behind, then it is not against the labor law. But it is important that they are guided so that they can strike a balance between their pursuit of entrepreneurship and their studies.
The Kuchigoro children work under the supervision of adults, their parents or trainers. Despite the profit from ventilating hair, the job comes at a price: mild waist and neck pains, as it requires hours of sitting. But that's not enough to stop Sampson and the other children. She hopes to go into the business full-time after her education. For Gibson Emeka in Abuja, Nigeria, Salim Solomon, VOA News.
Wow, what a great example of young entrepreneurship to explore the topic of booming businesses in black hair industry. Well, let's welcome our first guest for today. We have Gisela Van Hook, who is joining us via Skype from Kigali, Rwanda. She's born in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mrs. Van Hook is the founder and CEO of Zuri Luxury Limited, a company providing high-quality beauty products and services designed specifically for black women in both Africa and Europe. Welcome, Gisela.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being with us. We hear you are in Kigali. Quickly, can you tell us the events that you're attending and tell us maybe what hairstyles are trending right now? Weave, hair extensions, you know, just to give us a little bit of a feel about what's going on right now in the hair industry.
Yes, actually, I'm at Trace TV Awards at Trace Festival in Kigali. And yeah, so this event is bringing really the limelight onto African businesses and African artists. And in terms of the hair trending at the moment, I'd say wigs and extensions, of course, because of the diversity that African women love to have. You know, they want to be blonde today, they want to be brunette tomorrow. So yes, wigs are the easiest way to help you do that.
Nice. Oh, beautiful. So Gisela, when our producer told us that, you know, you was our guest and she said Zuri, I was like, oh my God, yes, I follow her on Facebook. So can you tell us, is social media a big part of your digital marketing business? And, you know, does AI also plays a role?
Absolutely. I think today the secret sauce to my business and to any business that really wants to soar is digitalization. So we use social media quite a lot. Actually, I'd say that 80% of our clients actually come from social media. At Zuri, we have a platform of 500,000 followers put together on all different types of social media. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything, we're on it. And today, it's really the easiest way to reach customers, to revolutionize customer experience, really.
So your products, you are selling your products not only in Africa, but also in Europe. So where do you get these products from, and what are the favorites of your customers? Like for the human hair, the wigs, where do you get these products from?
Okay, so we have different, we have a wide range of products. So if I start, we have hair extensions, wigs, etc. And the hair that we sell is natural hair. So it comes from all over the world. It could come from Peru, from India, from Brazil. But the cheapest place to put it together into wigs, weave, closures, frontals, is China, like so many other different products. So we have a warehouse in China and a quality control team in China that basically makes sure that everything is up to standard before sending it into our different markets in different countries in Africa, or maybe sending it directly to our clients in Europe and other places.
Gisela, you said that, Black women, one day they want to wake up and be brunette, blonde, Afro. Is that hard to keep up with that market, or is it a challenge for you to say, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I get what they need when they need it? How is that for you as a business owner?
Actually, I love that question, because that question is actually at the center of why I started Zuri in the first place. The reason why I started Zuri, as you can hear from my accent, I was brought up in London, but I'm from DRC. And when I moved back to Africa in 2016, I actually noticed that the beauty business, the beauty industry was failing Black women and undervaluing their potential, because I noticed that all the products that were found locally were not really the best, and there were international companies, maybe Chinese or Indians, that were selling the products, but they didn't really have the needs of Black women and African women at the center of what they did. So their products did not really...
Gisela, unfortunately, we have to stop right here. We're going to wish you all the best for this exciting show. We'd like to thank you, Ms. Gisela Mudumbe Van Hoek, founder and CEO of Zuri Luxury Limited, for joining us today. It's now time for a quick break. When we return, we introduce you to a young African hair braider here in Washington, D.C., who took her mother's hair braiding business to another next level. But before that, we ask you to share your thoughts on how African women are making an impact in the Black hair industry on our social media platform at VOA Africa. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter. And don't forget to use our hashtag VOA Our Voices. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Health, wellness, sport, beauty, medical breakthroughs. Healthy Living cares about your well-being. What are the main health concerns in Africa and around the world? Find out the latest on coronavirus. Connect with our experts and ask them questions.
How long does the virus stay?
Join me, Linor Moudou, in Washington, every week on Healthy Living, right here on VOA.
You're watching VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganye. Thank you so much for joining us each week right here on Red Carpet. We bring you the latest in
In times of change, when the world seems uncertain and what we hear doesn't reflect what we see. We seek the truth. When we are told only part of the story, we lose trust. In moments of crisis, our dreams, hopes, and wishes for a better tomorrow depends on a free press. At Voice of America, we bring you the stories that people take risks to see. We connect the world and unite it with truth. At Voice of America, we show you the whole picture.
Welcome back. You are tuned to Our Voices. We are discussing the blooming black hair industry and how African women are making a name for themselves in this lucrative business. Now joining us in our studio is Brittany Troy, who are graduating high school, took over her family's hair braiding salon, the African Hair Braiding Center, which is now considered one of DC's top braiding salons. The salon is getting a lot of followers on social media from all over the country and planning to open a third location in DC. Wow.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I love your hair.
Thank you.
I love the hair, the combination.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a wig.
It's really nice to have you. We saw you on social media. You got 200K followers. But before we get to you, Brittany, we had an opportunity to talk to women in Nairobi, Kenya, to tell us about the challenges and the joys of their black hair journey in our Your Voice segment. We have Evelyn Alush, Pauline Kowoni, and Purity Mwagi to share with us what they spend on their hair products, which is in shillings in Kenya, Kenyan shillings. And how do they choose their hairstyle, and does social media influence their styles? Take a listen, Brittany, and we'll get back to you, okay?
$5,000 to $7,000, depending on the style and design. Completely, yes, it does. Like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Depending on her speed, the quality of work, and how many people, when I walk out there, will ask me where it was done from. And that's why I choose Beauty Techniques, because their work is excellent.
In hair products in a month, like 5,000. On nails, in a month, like 3,000. Yeah. Coming to about for one visit, we spend like 6,000, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. The factors that we consider, we do check on the speed, we check on the quality of the work done, and we also check on the cleanliness of the place. Yes. You can come to the salon. Nowadays, we get most of the styles from the Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, or even TikTok. There you see many styles that people have posted. You can come to your hairdresser because you've trusted her for a long time. You pick a style from social media, you come, you give it to her if her work is good. Because I'm telling you, I've trusted my hairdresser for like 10 years. So automatically, she'll produce the style.
My hairstyle, it depends. Actually, me, I like doing braids, yeah. And I like doing my hair twice a month. Yeah, like, actually, my resources I do in hair, it doesn't cost that much. It costs like, I'm doing it twice, so it costs me like 10K. I do it in 5K and 5K. So twice a month. For me, that 10K is not much. I wish even to spend more.
Interesting. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences. And it's interesting how social media these days influences a lot of choices women have to make for their styles.
Yes.
And also,
I'm always going to the hair salon with my picture. Do this, please.
So, Brittany, tell us, which style do you see women into these days? Is it natural hair? Is it braid? What's the most popular and common?
Honestly, I would say, because depending on their lifestyle, braids are really in. But if it depends, like, your line of work. If you're a type of girl that just wants to throw on your wig and go, then you can do that. But braids is just like get up and go.
Yes.
So it depends on what you have time for. Yeah.
So I feel like you're a new generation of, you know, hair braiding, and you are a new generation. You took over your mom's business. Looking back, what do you feel like you're doing different? Because you're being very successful. You know, it's one store from another. Yeah.
To answer the question, I would say I'm really on social media. Like, I'm really keeping up with trends, creating trends. I'm stepping out the box. I am thinking and trying to just make a whole new path. I'm not necessarily following anybody or looking at what everybody's doing. I'm seeing what's on the market and I'm making it better. I'm improving. Also, I kind of reference the older styles that my mom, because we had like a photo album that she used to do, was really cute. Like, she would take pictures like with her little camera and put it in a photo. Like, she had a whole photo album. So I would reference that and look at what can I do to make it more like Gen Z, more hip, more fun. So that's what we're doing. Yeah.
That's really good, because sometimes when you go to a hairdresser, you don't know what you want. You just want to see a picture and show them this is what I want and do it. So being on social media really does help women really to pick what they want, because sometimes we have no clue what we want.
And honestly, even with the pictures, sometimes I felt like it wasn't enough. So the videos is like you can see everything, zoom in, every angle. Yeah.
But Brittany, I got to put you on the spot. As a hairdresser, I'm always like, I want to ask this question. I'm going to ask it on camera. Why is it that when we sit in a chair ready to get our hair done, we get turned around to face the wall? When I want to look at the mirror and watch you exactly step by step what you're doing, why is it like that? Why do the hairstylists don't like their clients looking in the mirror when they're doing their hair?
Honestly, I think it's because sometimes, like, I know for my braiders, they get nervous. Like, they actually get nervous, and the language barrier is already tough for them, so they get nervous and they'll freeze up, and if you're they get confused
about what you're asking.
Yeah.
So,
and
but they
like,
know they're confident in their skills to do, but just that interaction is too much.
And sometimes people don't trust the process. So as they're braiding, it might not look cute, but the end result is going to be a hit, for sure.
I think I actually understand their point of view, because like constantly being told, do this, do that, turn this, can you redo this again? Like, it's so frustrating, it can be annoying.
It is.
But do you think like price factors in the choices people make? For example, if they want to do braid or human hair, do you think people put price ahead, or do you think the style makes you know, the cutting?
I would say quality. If your braids are quality, you can charge what you can charge. I honestly feel like the braiding industry has grew a lot, and as far as the African braiders, opposed to like Black American braiders, we were getting underpaid for the job and the time that we were able to achieve a certain style. So this is really great. I'm sure they're loving it.
Interesting, interesting. So before we wrap up our show today, we want to introduce you to a playwright who brought back hair to the bright lights of Broadway in our Women to Watch segment. Meet the award-winning Ghanaian-American playwright Joycelyn Bue, born and raised in New York City. Her world premiere, Jaja's African Hair Braiding, debuted earlier this month on Broadway, which is getting quite a buzz for bringing the immigrant experience to the stage that spotlights African hairstyles. She takes us to Jaja's vibrant hair braiding shop in Harlem, where every day a lively and eclectic group of West African immigrant hair braiders are creating masterpieces on the heads of neighborhood women. Their play centers around the incident during a summer day that forces the tight-knit African community to confront what it means to be an outsider on the edge of the place they call home.
You know what? It was about time that we have, a place, because we see, how it goes in African American salon, but the African salon is a whole different story. Do you have vendors who come and, bring mafe and,
Listen, actually I had a whole Chinese vendor coming in trying to sell me hair. That was probably the coolest thing though, yeah.
So like, as a braider and as a shop owner, what advice do you have for other braiders that are trying to come up in the industry and, that want to do what you're doing? You say you're very on social media. What other advice can you give them?
I would say, look at what's popping and just do that. Do what's popping and quality work, And as far as clients coming in, have a picture of exactly what you want, just one. Don't come up with 3, 4, 5. Just one picture. You take your time and find that one picture of exactly what you want, and they will provide just that.
What about people like me who have no idea what they want?
Listen, get on TikTok.
Social media is the place today, right?
It is.
So I meant to you another not so nice question, but it's it's still nice. Okay, so one hairstyle can be $10. You from Ivory Coast, right? So it can be $10 in Ivory Coast, $100 in New York City, where I'm from, and then here it's like $300. Please explain why.
Honestly, the cost of living in DC is crazy. Like the gentrification is crazy. So it was like the hair cost, the jam cost, everything went up in price. Okay. So it was like we just had to go up. And honestly, COVID is the answer to everything.
That's for everybody. And that's it for our show for this week. We want to thank our guest, Ms. Gisela Van Hoeke, the founder and CEO of Zuri Luxury Limited, who joined us earlier via Skype from Kigali, and Brittany Traore of the African Hair Braider Center. To catch up on the latest episode of Our Voices or to stay up to date with news from around the continent, go to voaafrica.com and our YouTube channel. We will see you again next week with another exciting program. Be sure to continue the conversation on our social media platforms. Until then, thank you for tuning in and have a good day.